beating Real Madrid by 3-1.
Yeah, when you're looking at Spear of the Nation, they qualified as the best runners-up in the 3 groups. That's why they are in the semi-finals now. They won that game by 3-1. It was important to also get those goals so that they can be the second best finishers in the 3 groups. They did well. wins the group on the other side. And when you're looking at Northwest, the only team to win both their games. So they are favorites. They are playing at home.
Summerfield Dynamos, Clinton Lawson. That's where he's coaching nowadays. That's where you could find him if you're looking for him. It's a team that he grew up, of course, under back home.
Sompo, we had a discussion. Summerfield, I belong him.
Yeah, he says he doesn't belong in that league. But you belong there if you don't win your matches. So this is the game. Yeah, for sure. They look good on paper. They've got personnel, they've got players. But at this present moment, in this tournament, you don't need personnel. You just need to win your matches, and this is what they found themselves in.
I mean, and I can understand this. He's sitting there as probably one of the most highest qualified coaches with experience sitting in this league. And some of the players that he's been able to recruit because of his big name is the reason why perhaps they think so.
Yeah, for sure. They look good on paper. Like I said, the problem or the challenge in this present moment is when you don't win your game. And in this space, you have to win only if you participate often in that space, because the experience will tell you what to take in the match. But if you come, then next season you don't come, then there's no continuity in your progress, and there's no way you can win the tournament.
Well, I'll start at Group C so that we continue with the conversation that we're having. Summerfield Dynamos, they didn't win a game in the playoffs. And the coach says they don't belong in this league. But when you're looking at the result, if you go to the playoffs and you're unable to win a game, you belong here. Yeah, as Sompo says, you belong here because you're not winning games. Northwest, we're saying they're the only team to win all their games. They always say, Peter Msimani, Jingle says, it's not how you do in the group stages. It's what you do in the knockout stages. So
that's when the tournament begins.
I'm really focusing on Northwest because they won all their games. I'm looking forward to their game in the second semi-final to see how they will do against a Magezi team that also won their group. So Magezi is from Limpopo. They are the ones that are representing Limpopo. I'm looking forward to then maybe add another professional team with Baroka being relegated to the Glad Africa. Maybe we can add in Limpopo a Magezi to Glad Africa.
I think with Magezi and Northwest University, these are the teams that they are well structured. With Magezi, these are the teams that have been in the playoffs. Even last season they were there. So for me, it talks about the continuity where we were talking about in the beginning, where he said the team doesn't belong there, but he's not there.
Continuity, consistency.
So with Magezi, they've been there and they've been winning their league in Limpopo, which allows them, gives them the edge when it comes to this kind of knockout stages where you have to win match at all costs. So with Northwest University, these are the well-coached team. I've watched them in their last 4 matches where they played very, very well, good football. But like Promozo says, this is the match where you don't have to play pretty if you want to win. You must make sure that you win your game.
2022 ABC Motsepe National Playoffs. Today, we're giving you 2 games. Platinum, which kicks off at about 11 o'clock. We'll be handing you over to our commentators pretty soon. They take on Spear of the Nation, a big match and that's going to be the first game that we are focusing on. Let's talk a little bit about the 2 teams now that we're focused on. Who are they?
Now, you're looking at Platinum. They won the Gauteng-based Motsepe League.
Which many say is the toughest stream.
Yeah, toughest.
But that's the toughest stream, the Gauteng.
They say so because they're in the city of gold. You know, and when you win here in Gauteng, because every player wants to be in Joburg, every player wants to be in Gauteng.
Also, it's a bigger pool of players.
It's a bigger pool of players, but the most important thing, Platinum, that's how they got to the semi-finals, winning the game with Langa scoring that header. It also brings that side of the game to say they're also good in set plays. If it's not going well in open play, they are a team that can score from a set play. Langa rising the highest, meeting the ball at the highest point, putting the ball in the back of the net, and that's how they won their group.
Well, let's take a look at Spirit of the Nation when MM, of course, going through with that one there. They were able to protect that lead, even though at some points there were questionable decisions that the goalkeeper was making there. He's going to be a lot tighter today if he's to see his team through. Spirit of the Nation.
The team looks very, very coachable. They look like the team that has been coached well enough by Tsepo Motsepe, who was the former goalkeeper in the SuperSport team.
Yeah.
But looking at the pitch looks very, very fast and bumpy. So you can't try to play there at normal football that we
I like a goal, goal.
They all count. They all count, unfortunately. But like I said, I've mentioned in the beginning that this is the match where you don't need to be play pretty football. These are the chances you have to create. Half a chance can result into a goal.
When you're looking at it, they opened the scoring through Ncebo Ngqala, who's also in the starting lineup in today's game. But the man that scores the second goal in the game, that is Xolo, is not available in today's game. We're wondering if he's injured, if he's suspended. We're still waiting for that information to come through. But the other goal is scored by Udlamini from the penalty spot. Well taken set play, but this is how they play Spear of the Nation. And we have been praising Imagezi. Spear of the Nation managed to get a 2-2 draw against Imagezi. So it means that they are a very strong team, not a team to be underestimated or undermined when it comes to today's game when they are playing against Platinum.
Now, let's perhaps explain, Sompo, how the tiers of South African football work. Yeah. When we're saying these are the playoffs, people have just watched playoffs now and Swallows survived. So how does it work? Where are we here? And winners of this mini tournament, what happens?
It's when you win your league in every district in your province.
Yeah.
So we've got 9 provinces in all. So the league that you win, it gives you an automatic participation in this tournament. So everyone who is participating in that space is the one who won their league.
The provincial
winner.
So
it gives you then that option to say you got 2 options. It's either you win with your playoffs or automatically from your but it doesn't give you a automatic or promotion like the NFD one.
Yeah.
So this is where you have to be tested in order for you to be promoted.
And you win these playoffs, then what?
It's very difficult, Andile, because the other thing that we need to tell our viewers, both teams that win today, they get promoted to the Glad Africa.
Mm-hmm.
The
second tier of South African
Yes, the second tier of South African football. So if you get to the final, you're automatically promoted to the Glad Africa. You're only getting to the final to try and be the champion of Motsepe.
But
the
making
winners,
it to the final, you've already won.
But when you're in the final, if you win and get to the final, you're guaranteed 600K. Because number 2 gets 600K, number 1 gets R1 million. So you're actually, if you're in the final, you're playing for 400,000. So number 2, 600, number 1, R1 million. But the 2 finalists, they go to Glad Africa.
Well, I know the coaches are looking at that money that is well needed in the lower divisions of South African football. Speaking of coaches, let's go to the interview, starting off with Ashraf Hendricks.
Coach of Platinum, Ashraf Hendricks, who joins us now, a man that's all too familiar to South African football fans. Coach, let's talk about coming into these playoffs. So far, you've had 1 win and 1 draw. Talk us through perhaps how you are looking to approach the game today from a tactical point of view, given the results you want to achieve.
Well, definitely it's going to be a tough one today. I mean, Spirit of the Nation are quite a good team. They're quite a ball-playing team. So saying that as well, we played yesterday and we ended up past 5, so we had about 16 hours, if not less, time to rest. The regeneration was basically ice bath, get him some carbs load and stuff like that, but not much we can do as a coach. I think that's what one of the other coaches was saying as well with the time period. It's a bit difficult for us as coaches to kind of manage it out. So obviously going to the game now, we can't obviously go guns blazing. Obviously that's tonight out there. We've got to manage the game, certain times, certain moments in the game. And I think that's going to be important for us. I think we've got to understand what's it about at certain moments of the game.
And Coach, I mean, this is the moment you've been working towards all season, so it is a do-or-die moment for you to get into the finals and get that promotion.
No, 100%. I think the do-or-die suits this scenario best. We've got to go in this game. Obviously, the boys know what's up for it. They know what's at stake. They know what they want. I think as a coach, not much we can do anymore, because the motivation for them is basically that they know if they win this game, they go to NFD. Their lives changes, their family lives changes, everything changes for them. So for them, they know the moment is there for them to take, and it's up to them to rise to the challenge.
Many of you are asking yourself, hey man, that face looks very familiar. A man who knows him all too well, played with him It's Pomozo Manager. Why travel?
We rework development of South African football.
Yeah.
Now, I played with Ashraf Hendricks at under-17 national team, under-20, and also under-23. He was also my teammate at Bidvest Vets. It's good to see young coaches coming up. He's on the verge of making history, of promoting Platinum to the final, and also to declared Africa. And one thing that I love about him, we're discussing with Sompo that they're very strong aerially. Now, I'm not surprised when I see their coach, because he was a centre-back at Bidvest Vets, one of those that was very strong aerially. And I know how he used to stay behind and do a set plays, crosses into the box, practicing his headering. No wonder his team that he's coaching is very strong aerially. And
of course, it's a team that is very Barcelona minded, in that they called La Masia. That's where the school of football for them comes from, which of course is also the same place out in Barcelona where the academy sits at Barcelona Football Club, and you can see the colors there as well. It is all about the Barca way. La Masia, otherwise known as Platinum. Let's go now to Sbusiso Mpompo. Sbusiso Mpompo is the coach out, of course, at the Spear of the Nation. Right, you seem to be having a problem getting that footage there of the coach Mpompo there. We're going to be having him in the Spear of the Nation as they go up against Platinum. We've already heard from Ashraf Hendrick. Let's hear from Sbu.
Coach of Spear of the Nation, Sbusiso Mpompo, joins us now. Coach, coming into these playoffs so far, your results, you've had a win as well as a draw. Mhlamba usitshela ukuthi yini i-tactical outlook yenu game namhlanje, and what are the reasons behind that?
We want to be solid defensively. They are a very good team. They play the ball possession team, so our defensive structure has to be up to stretch, and our 43 when we attack needs to be tops. They'll have the ball. They want the ball. They want to have the ball. We're a team that wants to play also, but we won't sit back and allow them to dictate the game all the time, because it's two teams that play similarly. So we have to have the ball also. So we have to press them and get the ball back and play. But we know what we want to do when they have the ball. We have our traps and how we plan to beat them. And we have made some changes. We've made 3 changes. Some are to freshen up the team, and others are just for form and looking at the opponent, how we want to hit them.
That's the coach there, Sbusiso Mpompo, and he's noticed what they do. And like we said a little bit earlier, they're a very Barcelona-minded team. Yeah. And he sees that, I don't know, a position-based team. So we need to be aware of that. How do you begin to defend the position-based team?
I think you allow them to have the position in a very not so good positions, to be honest. You don't allow them to come into your half and you identify the good playing footballers. Maybe in the team, if the number 10 is the one who's always on the ball, you eliminate him, and by so doing, you allow the 2 centre-back who will never hurt you from having the ball. So I think they will try by all means to do that.
When you're looking at the 2 teams, 2 ball-playing teams, already they've looked at each other's strengths and weaknesses. When you're looking at the Spear of the Nation, that is the team that will be starting today. You're looking at a team that has scored 5 goals in these playoffs, conceded 3 goals. You're looking at Ncebo Nala, a very quick winger, goes past players. They'll be looking onto him. You're looking at Dlamini also, the striker up top. He's a big boy, he holds up the ball, but he's got speed on him. So I'm looking at those 2 players to be the key players. Obviously also Ndlela will be key in goals to try and keep a clean sheet. He's yet to keep a clean sheet in these playoffs.
I mean, I said a little bit earlier when you watched the game that they had played before that Ndlela was not at his best. But also, watch out for Ukhumalo. 2 of those goals from 5 that they've scored coming from his boot as an assist. This is Spear of the Nation and how they've decided to remember that the matches kick off at 11 o'clock. We'll be giving you all the way from Podge. It's live right here on SABC Sport. This is that Platinum team.
When you're looking at an Platinum team, in these playoffs, one thing that has been their strength would be their defense. They are yet to concede a goal in the 2 games that they've played. So defensively, they are very strong. They are also position-based. They defend very well with the ball and without the ball. They've only scored 1 goal. That is the worry for me. And the only goal that they've scored, Andile, comes from a set play. They are yet to score from open play.
Talk to me. What do you see the score be?
I think Platinum will win the match. I've seen their bench, I've seen their lineup. I saw even Sidiso Tukan is there, which gives them enough experience on the bench to come in and influence the match.
Skonyana?
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
They are yet to score from open play. When you're looking at the Spear of the Nation, 5 goals that they've scored so far. So I will go with the guys that are scoring goals, which is the Spear of the Nation. I'm giving them this game by 2-1.
We're going to go. The game is ready. The players are out. Tulisi Lemia. And, of course, the young Ray Ray join us in commentary. Ray Kuhn.
It's been a week of high demand and high obtained football here in the Northwest. Of course, home to today's venue, Olin Park Stadium. The summit of the mountain is firmly in sight, and the next bus stop is a semi-final fixture for 4 of the division's finest teams. 4 teams with completely different experiences along their journeys in this year's playoff competition, and 4 teams craving that sweet taste of silverware. Very good morning to you, wherever you may be watching. Today's opening semi-final is one that features Gauteng's side, MM Platinum, and in the opposing corner, all the way from the Eastern Cape, Spear of the Nation. Spear of the Nation, of course, made light work of Real Madrid thanks to a brilliant second half display, and MM Platinum sneaked past Western Cape outfit Sizwe United. Of course, the only goal from Langa proved to be the slender difference in that one. But all roads lead to this, and in give or take 90 minutes, we will have our first new and confirmed team in next season's Glad Africa Championship. Once again, the players are indeed ready. Photographs do need to be taken, of course. Potchefstroom is the home of this year's playoff edition. Olin Park will be playing host to both the semi-finals and final as the group stages were played out at the university just up the road from here. But I'm of course not alone here this afternoon. Tuli Mia joining me, but as we can see, the referee Frank Machopelo, the final cost of the twin. And it seems like both sets of teams are ready as we just glance over at the team sheets of MM Platinum. La Masia, of course, making a couple changes. Kutuso going out, I beg your pardon, for Caden Rademeier, the young left footer, and the midfield, of course, ever so strong with Ryan Baikis, Lusanga, the captain, as well as Seko, making up that strong, solid midfield. Quite a lot of bite in the center of the park, it must be said. Spear of the Nation, of course, not making a lot of changes despite adding some numbers into that midfield. No injuries for Sibusiso Mapompo to concern himself with, and that defense is carried on now as we can just give it out for Tuli.
Kude manikiniki izindala zombili yabona ke la eNorthwest amathimu noma ke amaqembu aqaleke esishiyagalolunye namhlanje sisele ke namane kusasa liyoshona ke ngempela ke sesithi ke siyazi ukuthi ke imapha amaqembu azongena ke kwiGlad Africa Championship. Yabona ke MM Platinum namhlanje ke idlala ke i4-5-1 zikhona ke inguquko ke abazenzile njengoba ke ubona ukuthi ke namhlanje bakhahla ke ngaye ke uNepia laphana ke phambili kanti ke yabona ke Spear of the Nation basuka le eEastern Cape umgcebo onala umbheke kahle laphanga kwesokunxele uyena ke oyi top goal scorer kuleli qembu ke nakuyona ke le midlalo ke yama playoff unamagoli ke amabili udlala ke noSifundo Dlamini naye futhi ke umdlali ke oshaya ke kakhulu amagoli ke kulona ke iqembu le Spear of the Nation. Uyabona ke lo blue and white owalo ke iqembu layo ke lapha iSpear of the Nation labalandelo babonayo suka le eEastern Cape ukuzokweseka iqembu labo ke iSpear of the Nation. Bayasho ukuthi ke nakanjani ngesizini ezayo Ray bafuna ke ukuthi ke bazibone begijima kuyona ke iGlad Africa Championship.
Final team talk there from MM Platinum, of course, in the similar Barcelona colors, and Spear of the Nation in the white and blue. We are just a couple of minutes shy away from kickoff. Referee Frank Machopole just having his final warm-up. So the Spear of the Nation are having their fans here in attendance here this afternoon. Of course, a lovely turnout here this afternoon from their support, of course. And it's a clapping of hands And it's all smiles on the faces, and you can see razor-like focus from both these teams. It's so necessary. The coaches, both Sibusiso Mapompo as well as Ashraf Hendricks, were speaking about the fact that the players are indeed nervous, and they do need to settle those nerves, especially in the opening exchanges of this encounter. The opening couple of minutes will be crucial to see which team gets their hands on the ball. Of course, both teams have said that each other are the more possession-based side, so it'll be interesting to see who dominates the ball. But kickoff is well underway, and we are 90 minutes away from confirming your first new team in the Glad Africa Championship. It's MM Platinum bumping heads with Spear of the Nation all the way from the Eastern Cape. I am indeed joined by Tuli Mia here with me. And it's put forward there eventually by Ngubeza, but he loses out, and Spear of the Nation eventually get their first taste of the ball. Napier just a little bit too aggressive in that tackle, wearing the number 23 on his jersey. MM Platinum, of course, adopting the shape of 4-3-2-1, using that diamond in the midfield. We spoke about the bite that they do have in the midfield, but that's a nasty tackle from Napier. A little bit of an ankle biter there, and really feeling the after effects of the studs of young Kurtley Napier there. And Spear of the Nation are underway once more. Manelo on the left-hand flank, puts it in, trying to look for Ayanda, not quite finding him. Safundo, Ayanda and Ngebo, of course the front three for Spear of the Nation this afternoon. So much to do, and to break the stubborn MM Platinum defense, the MM Platinum defense that hasn't conceded just yet. So it's many parts that their defense has been the crucial aspect to their success of the ABC Motsepe Playoff League thus far. A knocked on there from Napier, just not quite finding his strike partner, Caden Rademacher. Of course, the young man brought in for Kutusa for his left foot. Ashraf Hendricks is one that does like left footer. Caden Rademacher will be looking to cut in from the flank whenever he can, and definitely one to watch out for Spear of the Nation. But Sibusiso Mapompo did suggest that they have a couple of traps set in that midfield, and they are a team coming here with a plan. It's just a matter of time and a question of whether they can execute that plan against a really good Gauteng-based team, MM Platinum. Turning off the shoulder there, Safundo. Just interested for a couple of seconds then, and Omalo gets his first taste of the leather and distributes it out wide to the right back, Ngubeza. Finding his centre-back partner, of course, Brendan Morris, a stalwart in defence. A regular feature in this MM Platinum defence. And as you can see now, the possession-based side of MM Platinum just trying to find the gears and trying to establish a couple of opening passes. Very well laid off there by Napier, but lost up Ulusanga, the captain, the centre of the field. But it's a throw-in one here for MM Platinum. As you can imagine, a slow start to the game. MM Platinum getting a feel of the ball, and Spear of the Nation sitting back, holding their shape, not doing too much. It's very important that these teams conserve their energy and only expend it when they need to, as a chance is here on for MM Platinum. Not too sure if it was a cross or an attempted shot there from Baikis. Very good start from MM Platinum, of course. Spear of the Nation finally now building from the back. It must be said that they are sometimes conceived to be the counter-attacking team, but very comfortable on the ball, it must be said. As it goes back to the goalkeeper, Smiso, now with Ntando. Back to Ntando, looking for his left back, Stotuso. Not quite finding him, loose pass there. Definitely some early nerves for sure, as Ashraf Hendricks did mention. So it's a question of which team can handle those nerves better, as it's put into the 18-yard area, lost out eventually from Caden Rademacher. Temba John, it has to be said, is joining in attack with Caden Rademacher just in behind Napier. Spear of the Nation, some kilo, winning it eventually. Venturing forward now, Sianda. Still going, he's not stopping. And eventually taken out there, MM Platinum. Kumalo Sianda, to his own surprise, having a little bit of a run there. But now all the way to the number 23 striker, of course, the young Kurtley Napier. Going out wide to Langa. Back to Langa. Langa puts it in. There's a volleyball. Early chance for him in Platinum. Back to Kurtley Napier. Getting that cross in, firing it back in. And it's a corner for Platinum. High obtained start in the opening 5 minutes here in Olon Park. The home, of course, of Leopards Rugby Club, applying their trade in the Currie Cup First Division. First corner of the game, as you can see there in the top left-hand corner of your screen, Platinum with a really good start. And Langa, it has to be said, the only goal scorer for Platinum in this competition, and it did come from a corner in their last encounters. It's whipped in and well taken eventually from Smiso, who hammers it out eventually, trying to look for Sifundo from the get-go. Route 1 football. And it's definitely something that Platinum do need to watch out for, that early long ball from goalkeeper Smiso. Spear of the Nation on a fade to go long very quickly. It seemed to have worked for them very well in the group stage game, especially in their last encounter against Kimberley Real Madrid, a game in which they conceded an opening early goal, and a brilliant second half display allowed for the Spear of the Nation to easily cement their place in the knockout stages of this year's ABC Motsepe Playoff League. And a flat goal kick eventually out there by Ngubalo. One back in the midfield, biding their time here, Spear of the Nation, not starting off exactly with a bang, just getting their feel of the game. And it's adoption of a 4-3-3 formation, definitely a attacking formation, one would suggest, and a formation that relies on your midfielders to assist your forward players when going forward. So a massive job for the midfield this afternoon for Spear of the Nation. Coach Sibusiso Mapompo did mention the fact that he wants to add more bite into that midfield, dealing with a very strong, very reliable Platinum midfield, of course led in the centre of the park by their captain Lusanga. And he eventually runs out of ringlet as the young left back Langa. 7 minutes gone and not much to show for these two teams. Only one corner going in the way of Platinum. Playing it out from the back, playing with fire, and might just be losing out there, but they've done very well to get away with it. Good, very good work from Spear of the Nation. And it's a bit frantic there in the centre of this park. Spear of the Nation do aim to win back that ball and make the lives of Ryan Baikis as well as Siko just that little bit more difficult in the centre field. Baikis on it now. All the way out to this side for Ngubeza. Back to Baikis. Seko looking for a pass on that ever so impressive left foot of his. A wonder of a left foot in the midfield. All the way to the other side of the field now with Langa, who looks to put in the ball early. A left back that, whenever he seems to get in the chance to put in that ball, does do it rather effortlessly and isn't afraid to make those last-ditch runs and final darts into the box. But he loses out there, and Spear of the Nation come away with it in their own half. But a free kick is given by today's referee, Frank Mahupole. Both teams still getting a taste of this encounter. The first meeting between these two teams, it has to be said. Chop back there, Spear of the Nation might just have an opening chance here. And it's a goal kick, exceptional defensive work there. Snuffed out. Sifundo keeping his defender busy and chopping back onto that right foot, looking for the cross. But exceptionally well defended and well recovered by the young centre-back Lesejo Sebetlela. Holding firm here in the opening 10 minutes. Sebetlela looks to go long and finds Napier. All the way out now to Langa. Langa puts it in, looking for Napier. The cross maybe almost sneaking into that back post, but relatively comfortable for goalkeeper Smiso. Langa, it has to be said, As you can see, the lovely blue hair of his, unmistakable. And definitely a left back that is a main feature in this team. A frequent avenue of attack on that left-hand flank. It seems as that combination with Langa Tembajohn and Napier definitely one to watch out for here this afternoon. Just a couple of seconds before I hand off to my co-commentator Thuli. Spear of the Nation look to go long here, trying to find Malelo on the left-hand flank. Just losing out on that one there, Thuli.
Asibonge kakhulu ke ereke njengoba ke sikhona ke la eOrlando Park Stadium umdlalo ke wawo ke ama playoffs semi-final eyokuqala namhlanje ke osukwini ke njengoba ke kudlala ke yona ke MM Platinum neqembu ke layo ke laphana ke Spear of the Nation. Yabona ke namhlanje njengoba ke usuku olwama semi-final amaqembu ke abeyishaka lolunye ngesikhathi ke iqala ke lemidlalo ke ngolesibili kodwa ke namhlanje sesisele ke namane ngosele ke yona ke la Platinum FC kusele Spear of the Nation ngosele iMagesi bese ke kusala ke ne-University of North West. Amabili kulamaqembu ewona ke azokhushulela ke esigabeni esayo ke iGlad Africa Championship. Kodwa ke uyabona ke mawubheka la ukuthi ke lamaqembu ke omabili afike kanjani ke kuona ke ama semi-final. Uzobona ke ukuthi MM Platinum ke yona ke ihlale phezulu kuyona ke igroup njengoba kakade beku group B bahlala ke ngo 4 points. Azange ke bashawe ke nowodwa omdlalo kanti ke iSpear of the Nation sona ke singene ke kuma semi-final ngokuthi ke babe ke unumber 2 oqede kahle kakhulu kunamanye amaqembu ngoba ke nabo abazange ke badliwe kodwa ke babe nawo ke la u4 points. Asibone nje la iPlatinum njengoba ke eligoba ke leliya bhola ke uJohn Themba kodwa ke base ke elithatha ke goalkeeper. Yabona ke iPlatinum umdlalo ke wabo ke woqala ke badlale ke neDikwena yase Free State. Umdlalo ke waphela ke ngedraw ka Not umdlalo ke wesibili izolo Platinum ke ishaye ke Izizwe United ngegoli ke elilodwa ke eqandeni. Usikho sonke olanga ke uyena ke oshaye ke lelo goli ebelibaleke kakhulu ke ingakho ke namhlanje bezibona ke ebela kubona ke lama semi-final. Kanti ke mobheka indlela yeSpear of the Nation umdlalo ke wabo ke woqala badlala idraw ka 2-2 neMagesi FC. Umdlalo ke wabo ke wesibili base ke beshaya ke iReal Madrid yase Kimberley ngo 3-1 njengoba ke sibona nje la laphana ke bemdlalisa ke kabi Ayanda Lembede umgadli ke walo ke iqembu ke la iSpear of the Nation. Sisekhaya ke eleJomo Cosmos la eOrlando Park Stadium. Lapho ke ekamjomane esidlalela khona ke imidlalo ke iyaso kodwa ke manje ke njengoba ke bedliwe ke yizembe basobe ke bedlala ke kuMotsepe League kuyona ke futhi ke lenkundla athe Nkosi bawuthi bagudla ngakwesokudla manje Spear of the Nation okhona ke ugadile ke lapha asikho sonke ilanga okapteni owalo ke iqembu ale Platinum FC izolo egoli lakhe belibaleke kakhulu ingakho ke ebezithola ke namhlanje bedlala ke la kuona ke ama semi-final. Yabona ke mawubheka nje indlela ke yabo ke lama playoffs osuka ke lapha ku 2013-2014 isizini ukuthi ke obani abanqoba njengoba ke namhlanje noma ke kulempela sonto okhona elinye ke ayiqembu elizonqoba elinye futhi elizoba ke unumber 2 alizongena ke kuyona ke iGlad Africa Championship. Kodwa ngaphambi kokuthi ngikutshele athi sibheke ke le free kick Spear of the Nation baqoba leli bhola ekhanda kodwa ke eliphuma ke eceleni ke kwebhali eliphuma ke eceleni ke kwebhali ecross ke nayi ke manje indlela ke abayifake ngaphakathi ke eboxini ke le free kick kodwa ke ikhanda elakhe ke laphana ke uDlamini alangahlangana ke kahle ke nebhola wase ke liphuma ke eceleni kwepali yabona ngesizini ka 2013 2014 Cape Town All Stars eyona ke eyadlala asibone lo mnyakazo eyacindezela ngempela ke iyona SPA of the Nation eliyabalahlekela ke ibhola yabona ke lapha ngesizini ka 2013 2014 imidlalo yayilaphana ke eKingswell Ithini Stadium eThekwini ompetha kwaba ke Highlands Park ama run-ups kwaba ke iCape Town All Stars iwona ke amaqembu akhushulelwa ke esigabeni eseye eGlade Africa ngesizini ke elandelayo imidlalo ke yayise eNorthern Cape eKimberley umthatha Bucks nembombela ibona abanyuselwa ke esigabeni esayo ke iGlade Africa Championship wase kulandela ke iMagesi neKings United ngesizini ka 2015 2016 eBloemfontein ke eDr Petrus Molemela Stadium ke la kwakudlalwa khona emidlalo ke yasiyahamba ke iya ke lapha eBuffalo City eEast London uThongathi ezaseThekwini neSuper Eagles yase Free State ibona ke abagcina ke benyuselwa ke esigabeni wase ke kuyahanjwa ke kiwa ke ePhulukwane eMaccabi neTS Galaxy balandela 2018 2019 JDR Stars neSteenberg eWestern Cape 2019 2020 Bizana Pondo Chiefs asibone ke la Platinum ingena ke eboxini oRyan Bachisi ke uyena kade ke uvalela ke phakathi ebhola ke lase ke lishanje iside netting nayi ke le corner abeyimfishane bayidlala eKdin Academy wanikeza ke yena ke uBachisi ibhola ke laseliphuma nje eceleni ke ekwepali ngesizini ke edlule kaBhokweni Stadium eMpumalanga iHungry Lions yadlala ke ifinali nePlatinum City Rovers okuyibona ke abagcina ke bengena kwiGlade Africa Championship ngesonto ke sobe ke sinabanye ke amaqembu azongena ke kusona ke leso sigaba umsebenzi kodwa ke omkhulu kokuqala ke namhlanje njengoba ke elungisa ibhola la Siyanda Khumalo umfana ke wasemlazi 27 years libuya noSiduduzo uNdlovu ogatsheni boya benyathi lide ibhola ke lakhe ke laphana ke uSiduduzo bafuna uAyanda Lembede alifiki ke ibhola ke kuyena ke uAyanda Lembede naba balandeli bayo ke lapha iSpear of the Nation bangenela enkundleni ngomkhulu umfutho nokukhulu ke ukuzethemba yabona ke bagqoke ke imbala ke iyeqembu nange lilahle ibhola lapha usamkelo ofumaniso oyalithatha lapha Kdin Academy bamlahla phansi onompempe ke uthi free kick onompempe unikeza ke ifree kick ngoba ke bamdlalise kabi Kdin Academy asibone nje le free kick awalungisa ke udonga lakhe Simiso Ndlela 28 years umfana waseHowick lo modlula nje kancane ke laphana ke eMaritzburg usayidlale yonke ke imidlalo ke yama playoffs selokhu ke iqalile ke umdlalo ke wesithathu lo sikho sonke ilanga awukapteni weqembu le Platinum onegoli ke elilodwa akule mdlalo ke yama playoffs oyena ke ozoshaya ke le free kick oyayiphakamisa kodwa ke ibanga ke inhle ke neze ke le free kick yakhe ke usikho sonke ilanga egoli ke alivalele ngesombe ke sokuqala ke izolo ozobona ke ukuthi ke namhlanje oyafuna ukuthi ke aphinde ke enze ke okufanayo ngesikhathi ke ebekhipha ke iZizwe United ebefike kule mdlalo ke ithwalwe ke ngeqoma kwazise ukuthi ke banomqeqeshi Osanesikhathi ke eside ke edlala ke ama playoffs ngikhuluma ke ngoTsepo Motsepe okuyena ke kade ehola ke iqembu ke layo ke izizwe United azokhumbula ukuthi ke ngesikhathi iPhondo Chiefs ekhushulelwa ke esigabeni esayo ke eGlad Africa ngesizini ka2019-2020 uyena owaye umqeqeshi umvoti ukuma playoffs uyena oyemqeqeshi izizwe yamlanda inethemba elokuthi ke uzobenzela okufanayo kodwa cha izinto ke ezaphika free kick spear of the nation yinhle le free kick kodwa ke cha ibhola ke balithinta ke ngamakhanda ke lapha lisekho sibedlele ethola ikhona spear of the nation khona iyoqala ye-spear of the nation platinum nayo futhi ke inekhona eyodwa asibone nje bayayiphakamisa eyabeqa nangodwa ke kuyalijaha lapha uSiyanda Khumalo elaphinda ke elonakala ke ibhola kuthiwa liphoswa ke iyona ke iPlatinum FC and not Platinum FC and not Spear of the Nation.
Platinum most certainly proving to be the more adventurous one of the two teams, and Ryan Bike is venturing forward and making his way into the 18-yard area, so Platinum have seemed to gain some gateways into Spear of the Nation's box as they look to build from the back now. The curtain raiser in that Group B encounter did see a fascinating matchup between Platinum and Digwena United that eventually resulted in a goalless draw and meant that Platinum had it all to do in the last game and managed to capture their only victory. And an only one goal, the Langa goal, proving to be the difference and proving to be the reason why they are on showcase here this morning. Semi-final time, and it's a chance for both these teams to get access into the National First Division. Spear of the Nation might just do so, yeah. A chance wriggled through, and it's frantic at the back for Platinum. They've been so calm and patient in defense and just appearing to be a little bit bewildered there at the back. Deer in the headlights there for Platinum, but escaping with that one. Sifundo almost just threading a ball through there and getting a shot away, but luckily enough for Platinum, they now have a chance to attack of their own. Ryan Bikes looks to thread it through, not quite managing to do so, but they win it back in the midfield. Seko getting the shot away, the left foot scuffing out wide, not bothering the goalkeeper Smiso too much, but of course Siku winning it back in the midfield. And it seems as if they have all these ball stealers in the midfield, but as we just look now back to Spear of the Nation now with Sifundo going forward and not getting this shot away. Maybe just a tad isolated up front and forced to provide his own moments of magic for Spear of the Nation. But they do have a chance here with Langa once again with the left-footed whipped-in ball. And it's dealt with from Spear of the Nation eventually, as they have a chance here to bounce back. But once again, losing out in the midfield. Threaded forward, Napier on his own. Yes, some room here for the young man. All the way to the other side of the field with Langa. Once again, shifting it onto the left foot. There's a chance here. Spear of the Nation holding firm here. They've got so much to do with Langa. It seems as if he has so much time and space on the ball, and it's definitely something that Spear of the Nation do need to sort out and look into. This is one of the main avenues of attack here for Langa. Lovely little magic there. Nebo. And he wins a free kick for Spear of the Nation in his own half. Silky footwork there from the young number 15. And Coach Sibusiso Mapopo did mention that Ncebo is the youngster of the group and that he did want to bring in new, fresh legs. It's long and pumped forward once again. Fouls there. Definitely MM Platinum dominating those fouls in the midfield, not afraid to get dirty in the centre of the park. And they definitely pride their game on winning that ball back so quickly, but with Ncebo once again looking for that long ball across. Spear of the Nation just might be in Yanda, trying to find support to Yanda again. MM Platinum. It's almost as if it's basketball-like, both teams attacking but not finding that finishing touch, and it's back to front. Regular occasion in this encounter in the opening 25 minutes. Still no goals to show, as Ryan Baikis has some room here, finding the pass out wide. Ngobeza just losing out there, and it's a goal kick for Spear of the Nation. MM Platinum were of course seeded in Group B alongside Digwena United of the Free State and Sizwe United of the Western Cape, so a variety of skill sets and regions to overcome in that group stage. And as I mentioned before, it's their defence that have definitely proven to be the difference in their progress in this competition. But it has to be said, although the defence has been seen rather airtight for MM Platinum, chances did go begging for them in their opening game, with both teams creating goal-scoring opportunities, but no one taking that extra step and converting those chances into much-needed goals. There might be a goal, but once again the cross being overcooked by Spear of the Nation. Trying to find a cross, Samkelo onto his head, now with the left foot, Samkelo hits it. And Sifundo likes that clap of the hands. Samkelo doing very well there to wriggle some free space for him and switching it on to his weaker left foot. Of course, countless of supporters here this afternoon. We do expect more numbers crawling in later for the later kickoff, of course, but our concentration is here now with Napier using his strength to try and win the ball back there in the corner. Spear of the Nation giving it away once more. And a chance here. Caden Rodeman has a shot. Swallowed up by Smiso. The left foot seems to be so potent. Rockets of the left foot not quite finding and not quite testing the keeper enough there, Smiso. It's been relatively comfortable for both these goalkeepers, it has to be said. Given away once again here by, on the near side, Studuzo. Of course, La Masia did capture their Gauteng ABC Motsepe League ticket to represent the province at this year's playoffs. And what a stellar job that they've done so far, with only a win away from securing a Glad Africa position. So it's a lot to play for. It's a game with so much significance. And you can imagine players with nerves to deal with, of course. Their lives can change with a win here today. It might fall for Napier. But it's just exactly that final ball not falling for either striker. And it looks like that's a nasty injury there to the captain of the Spear of the Nation. Not too sure what happened there. Maybe just a hit to the ribs there. On the number 10, the captain, Kumalo Siyanda. Dunale Seko, the guilty party there. Of course, the captain of Spear of the Nation. A constant in this midfield of Spear of the Nation. A midfield that provides not only support for Sifundo, but drops back defensively and helps out for the likes of Ntando. So, definitely a player that leads by example. And not exactly by words, but by example, as we can see there. Referee Frank Mahupale just instructing him, Punelo Seko that is, just to calm it down just a little bit. But then Seko just telling him that it is indeed a physical game, but it seems as if the captain there, Kumalo Siyanda, on the stretcher, making his way to the side of the field, and we should resume play just shortly. La Masia, cut down there once again by Caden Rademacher, and he wins it again, Caden Rademacher. Very lively, presses from the front. Very good start in this game from Caden Rademacher, just getting warmed up, just getting revved up, it has to be said. But a yellow card now shown for Caden Rademacher. I did mention that he's being revved up, and the recipient now of this game's first yellow card. He had a couple of bites there at the ball, and it seems as if that one was clean. Although he was coming in from behind, it did seem there, Tuli, that he did capture the ball there, but nonetheless, play does continue as they look to win it here at the edge of the box. Sifundo just losing out there.
Ayabona ke umdlalo ke ngempela ke uya ke inhlangothi ke zonke alikho ke iqembu elisakhombisa ke ngempela ke ukuthi liyafuna ke ukuthi ke ludedele abadlali ke bakhompyutha bafika kanye kanye ebholeni ama challenges ngempela ke 50-50 maningi siyawabona kodwa ke iscore ke njengamanje ke sisamile kusayiqanda kwi platinum eqanda futhi ke kusona ke iSpear of the Nation. Yabona ke lo hlangothi ke lwesinxele lagijima khona ke uCaptain wePlatinum osikho sonke elanga ke ilona ke olithanda ukuthi lunikeze defense ke yeSpear of the Nation ke inkinga kodwa ke nangapha uCaptain Osiyanda Khumalo weSpear of the Nation sesimbonile ke ebemlahla ke phansi ke izikhathi ke zaba ke impili ngoba ke bayazi ukuthi oyinkinga ke kakhulu ke yena ke uSiyanda Khumalo eqembu ke elizonqoba ke namhlanje lizodlala ke ifinal ngesonto ke liphinde futhi elizitholele ke indawo ke kuyona ke iGlad Africa Championship asibone ke la Asifundo Dlamini akanayo support babili ke baze ke bamhlanganyela babe bana sibone ukuthi unamandla lapha uDlamini kodwa ebhola ke lase ke eliphuma ke eceleni kwepali ukhombisa amandla ayisimanga ke yena ke uSifundo Dlamini yambona nje kwejika ke nabo ehamba nabe bahudula waze ke wathatha ke neshot akhombisa ke ukuthi ke ngempela ke umdlalo kozomela ke bamgade onegoli ke elilodwa ke kule mdlalo ke yama playoffs enalo oshintsho lwenziwa ke iSpear of the Nation kungena uFreedom uMavundla ongcebo bamenza iTibek bamfaka bamkhipha oshintsho ke olwenziwa ke iSpear of the Nation Freedom uMavundla onala ke laba mkhiphayo onamagoli ke amabili uyani top goal scorer okhishwa umqeqeshi Sibusiso Omapompo former player le wayedlalela ke umthatha Bucks eyena ke uSibusiso Omapompo oqeqesha ke iSpear of the Nation throw in kuthiwa ke aphoswe alamazia kothiwa ke abaliphose ke laphana ke liyeho alusenga eliphuma khona futhi ke eduze ke kwebench elikhishwa ke uyena ke uLusenga a throw in eyavimba idefense iSpear of the Nation bayiqala ke emuva manje ke abafana ke bePlatinum Thamsanqa Ngobeza abashiya ke kuyena ke KD Academy olibuyisela kuyena futhi ke Thamsanqa amqeqeshi la o Ashraf Hendricks 37 years nayo futhi former player awenza ke idebut yakhe ye-professional football kuyona iHellenic wase ke wadlalela ke no Vasco da Gama wadlala nako Vets waretire ke esedlala ke kuyona ke iSwallows edlale 63 games washaya ke amagoli ke amathathu ke yena ke Ashraf Hendricks uzalwa ke eCape Town wakhona ke umdlali ke ohlezi phansi kodwa ke uyasukuma ke yena ke laphana ke uBudgies yabona ke mangikhuluma ke ngama former players abaqeqeshi kakhulukazi kuyona ke lemidlalo ke yama playoffs baningi esibabonile uma ubheka nje iqembu ke lase eThekwini eSummerfield Dynamos beyikhona la iqeqeshwa uClinton Lasene awukhoza mkhumbula ke kuyona ke lapha azomkhumbula ke yena ke laphana ke ko Golden Arrows oyena ke uClinton Lasene nako Maritzburg nako Celtic cheaper ungawabala nje amaqembu awucheckile dwaba naye futhi iqembu lakhe lisazodlala la azomkhumbula ke egijima ke osuthwini amaZulu lapha ngeminyaka yawo 2000 esabizwa ngeZulu Royals abanye ke babaqeqeshi abakhona kule midlalo akhumalo nakhe libeka ke laphana ke eboxini awufuna ke yena ke lapha uMavundla kodwa ke abamtholi ke yena ke uMavundla nangehlezi phansi ke uBrandon Morris i-center back eseyiwadlale ke wonke futhi ke amabhola ke aza ke emoyeni futhi ke wonke amdlalo yama playoffs ke uyiqalile yena ke laphana ke uBrandon Morris odlala ke laphana ke emuva ke noLiseho Sibetlele abosizo ke lokuqala ke bayangena bazombheka ke yena ke la Morris anangu ke la ethinteke khona yabona ke ngempela ama-tackles njengoba ke naye ke uKaden Academy naye bemlahla phansi engamnikezi ngisho ithuba ke ukapteni uSiyanda Khumalo onyawo ke ngempela ke amadoda ke ayalifaka abaphuma ke naye ke lapha ngohlaka ke uBrandon Morris tendency omalisela nangu naye ukhona la azokhumbula ukuthi free agent usebenchini akanalo iqembu njengoba ke esahlukene ke esanda hlukana ke neMarumo Gallants kodwa ke ukhona ke naye ke kuyona ke lemidlalo odeni omunye ke wabaqeqeshi ke esimbonile ke njengoba ke lemidlalo eqale ke ngalo ke lesibili abadlali ababili bahlezi phansi iyaphuma iyellow card iyoqala yomdlalo iyaphuma iyellow card iyoqala yomdlalo awuthiwa kasukume la ubunolo siyekho abunelo siyekho yellow card free kick ezothathwa ke ibona ke abafana ke base Eastern Cape anangu nje ledlale khona kabe edlalisa kabi ke Ayanda olembede free kick athenkosi bawuthi uyena ke ozoyithatha nangu usidingo lapha epalini awukho keeper ke wePlatinum bayayiphakamisa efuna amakhanda kodwa liyavinja ibhola lidala ke iyona ke i-corner kick khona sikho sonke oyaphuthuma uyomaka asibone ke le khona ibuya ke naye lapha samkelo ufumaniso oyayiphamisa angayibeka ke manje ekuyena ke athenkosi cross boxini lapha oyavimba lapha ke emuva alisekho sibehlele throw in ngokusheshsha elibuya ke naye athenkosi bayalixosha lapha ke emuva kodwa ibhola liphumi ngaphandle wase ke eliyeka nje ukuthi ke aliphumele ke ngaphandle ukuze ke bezobuya ke bezoliphosa abaso ispear of the nation abaliphosa asibone manje bangena eboxini nalithuba lapha oyalibamba ugoalkeeper othula nalo ke lapha ke usidingo uyabona ama crosses ngempela maningi kuyona ke platinum kanjalo ke landela ke ngemuva ke kubona ke abafana abespear of the nation njengoba ngeke ngasho ukuthi ngale ngakwesokunxele kokhona ke olanga 26 years umfana wase Alexandra lo isizini yakhe yesithathu le edlalela ke iPlatinum FC Stingo Nxumalo 40 minutes ebhodini isele nje nemzuzu emhlanu ukuthi ke siye ke ekhefini othini unompempe lapha nayi enye iyellow card goalkeeper bayamnika angathi ke ibhola ulibambe ngaphandle kwebhokisi Simiso Ndlela ebhola kuthula ulibambe ngaphandle kwebhokisi ke lakhe lapha ke uNdlela awuthi sibone ngempela asibone nangu liwe eshibilika eliphebeza waseshibilika wabuyela kulona anginaso isiqiniseko lapha kodwa ke asibone ke le free kick anaye enye isapho futhi akhayili lakhe bamkhipha uMorris akasabuyi ke njengoba ke elimele ke yena ke uBrandon Morris asibone ke ele free kick elamasya eplatinum iyona ke ezoyithatha alusenga aphezukwalo ke ibhola oyayiphakamisa ifuna amakhanda lapha eleni kwepali bekuzama ke sikho sonke ilanga oshaya igoli emidlalweni odlule wafaka iqembu lakhe kwi-semi-final nangu namanje Ray efuna ke ukwenza ke okufanayo kodwa ke sisele nje na 4 minutes bese ke siye ekhefini
40 minutes have come and gone, 5 minutes still to go, and still no goal to show in this encounter. Brendan Morris, of course, going off for the youngster Kyle Lekay, now making his way into the heart of that Double M Platinum defense as it's distributed out wide now to Langa. A number of yellow cards shown to MM Platinum, it has to be said, and a number of changes from both teams, of course. One in attack for Spear of the Nation and one in defense. But now a chance. He might just be in. It's a clip of the ankles there. What says the ref? And it seems as if Sifundo has taken a bit of a dive here. He's asking him to get up, maybe just waiting for him to show the yellow card to Sifundo. MM Platinum are pretty certain that there is no penalty shout whatsoever. As we look back on it now, Sifundo, no, not at all. Sifundo definitely looking for the most and trying to catch that referee's attention, but Frank Bogapole having none of it whatsoever. And to the dismay and to the disbelief of Frank Bogapole, it has to be said that his view is a little bit different to ours here in the commentary booth, and Sifundo definitely making the most of that one. Still on the ground, taking his time, of course. MM Platinum, it has to be said, arrived in these years' playoffs, coming off once a do-or-die game against fellow provincial competitors, African All-Stars, as we can see there. Yellow card shown to Sifundo, holding his rib cage, it appears. But MM Platinum did secure a narrow 2-1 victory in their second leg after playing out to a goalless draw on their home turf against their Gauteng rivals in that Gauteng playoffs. So it's rather a big journey to climb and to overcome for MM Platinum, and they are here taking center stage. MM Platinum now, it's been a rather interesting first half. Not much to show. Maybe attackers just losing their finishing touch, and maybe those shooting boots will be found, but Napier looks to get his cross away on that left foot of his. Langa has been ever so red hot on that left-hand flank. Caden Rademer having a crack at a volley. There they enter the penalty area. One back by captain Lusanga, distributing it now once more to Langa. Puts it in. MM Platinum looking for their first goal in the dying embers of this first half. The referee eventually intervening there. Play is being continued here once more. Caden Rademer operating on this right-hand flank. A smooth operator is Caden Rademer. Reminds me of almost Keegan Dolly. Keegan Dolly did adopt the colours of MM Platinum earlier on in his career. 2 minutes have indeed been added on. And not much for both teams to change the scoreline, but maybe one chance either way. One shall wait and see. But definitely an interesting first half, a second half that'll provide us much more action. So stay tuned for that one. As they go long here, once again using that route one option, using that long ball option to good effect. Spear of the Nation. And feeding off the scraps here. MM Platinum come away with it, and it goes long, looking for Napier. Not quite finding Napier there. Staduzo doing very well there, marshalling his man there. Sifundo taken out there, but it's a goal kick, and that might just be that, as we just await a final goal kick here from Umalo. Always seems to go short, or MM Platinum playing from the back, building their base from the back. And Langa on that left-hand flank. Langa making a run there on the left-hand flank, not quite finding him. Did Seku. Leopards, of course, call this place their home in the Rugby Currie Cup First Division, and it has to be said the pitch is rather hard, but taking into account that rugby is played on this pitch, stellar work done by the groundsman this morning to provide a really good surface here to play on for the semi-final action here at Olin Park in Potchefstroom. And there goes Frank Mohapole's whistle, and that is that. 45 minutes have flown by. So much to ponder for both these teams, and coaches Ashraf Hendricks and Sibusiso Mapompo will be rather scratching their heads and consulting that blackboard once again to maybe make a couple of changes when the first half comes. But both teams have been forced to look to their bench, whether that be injury or form. Nebo coming off for Mvundala, and Brendan Morris coming off late in the first half for the youngster Kyle Lekay. But a lot still to play for. It's definitely a nervy, edgy first half, and a first half that you should expect of a semi-final clash in the ABC Motsepe Play-Off League. As we can see there, just a reiteration of your score. The first half has ended. MM Platinum 0, Spear of the Nation 0. Making their way off the field now as we just await for those half-time stats. Shots at goal even for both teams, despite MM Platinum having the large share of possession, 56% to 40%, and passes definitely going in the way of MM Platinum. Number of fouls made in that midfield by the likes of Seku and Maikis, but as I mentioned, still so much football to play, and the story is definitely nowhere near finished just yet. As we have a look at the ball possession, once again dominated by Platinum, of course, but that's something that we did expect in the Spear of the Nation, as well as Coach Mapompo did expect from a possession-based side that is Platinum, but the possession hasn't resulted in 2 goals. But that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to show here in the first half. It's Platinum 0, Spear of the Nation 0. Stay tuned for the second half here live from Potchefstroom.
In the commentary booth, we've seen 45 minutes come and go in this encounter, and none of these two teams able to really capitalize on the opportunities that they found in this first 45, and we will see after 90 minutes of play which one of them will rue those opportunities the most. We also saw crucial changes coming in from the Spear of the Nation. The top goal scorer in Nala Ncebo coming off with a hamstring injury, and we did see their Freedom coming in his position. Also Morris going out for Platinum, and Lekay coming in. Both changes forced by injury for these two sides. All I can say is that there's a lot to play for in the second half in this encounter, because we do need to find a winner here today that will go into Sunday's final. And if it's not all confirmed in 90 minutes of play, we do go straight into a penalty shootout. But as Ray has said, in the first 45, not much to show for both of these sides. We do now take you through to an ad break. After the break, it is Andy Lengube Pumuzo as well as Yenage Uhlompo Kekane who give us halftime analysis in this encounter. Stay tuned.
Change the game.
Daddy's here, Daddy's here.
You want to talk to my grandson?
Hey, thanks for the shirt.
What is it they say about men again?
Oh, that's not good. It's not good.
This June, SABC2 Monday night movies are all about men.
Imagine a world where you are the master of your destiny.
A place where lovers love, jokers joke,
and children are the rulers of their own castles.
A place that ditches the boring and adds color to your life.
Place to enjoy with your favorite people, all day, all the time.
Escape the routine.
And go all in to magic and mystery.
From diapers to drum, sharing reels to curling up on the couch.
Do it now. Do it together.
SABC2 is going all in. Entertainment takes center stage in your home, on your grounds. Go all in with SABC2. You belong.
Should have gone to China. You know, because I hear they give away babies like free iPods.
I'll take it.
This June on S3.
She has a right to know.
What? Don't call me crazy!
We've lined up flaming hot movies that will warm up your winter weekend nights.
Don't be fooled by what you think you see.
Now, this is going to be a little difficult, so stay with me.
Open up to our weekend movies from 7:30 p.m. on S3.
Okay, it's a good story. Come on, Barry.
Really?
You guys ready? Please, don't practice here.
The youth of 76 took a stand in fighting yesterday's struggles. It's your turn.
Don't look at things on the surface, but also align your passion to your academic qualifications.
Stay positive, motivated, focused, and your determination will pay off.
Jigizinto.
Guys. Yes! So
Hashtag shape your future.
Okay, Chomis, get up in some lunch.
Black and the black, my friend. Cut around 15, as long as I regenerate.
No goals to speak of out in Potchefstroom at the Orland Stadium, but even more so disappointing, not a lot of goal-mouth action as we see the playoffs, the beginnings, of course, of what South African football is about. If you're just joining us, welcome to it. SABC Sport. We promised you to give you more football. Now we're going to the lower tier divisions of South African football, which is Leo, as well, of course, as Hlompho Kagana joining me in the studio. Your wrap of that first half?
I think you are looking at two teams that are very tired. Two teams that are very tired because since you get to the playoffs, there's no time to train. They've been playing games day after day. The only rest day is going to be tomorrow, and then the final is on Sunday. So I don't see a lot of fluidity in the way that they're playing. Two ball-playing teams that they're trying to cross each other out in midfield. They're looking, the midfielders, the reason I'm saying they're tired, the midfielders are trying to play balls in behind the defense. And the wingers are not prepared to run into those spaces. The strikers are not prepared to run onto the spaces. But the reason is they have not had time to recover and to train.
Sambo?
Yeah, I will agree with what Promo is saying because looking at the match, there's no penetration passes. Looking at the passes, they're cancelling each other in the middle of the park. There's no shot at goals. There's no shot inside the box. There's no more crosses that we thought the Platinum will put. Looking at the overall of the first half, I think it was a very, very dull match.
It was. It was not exciting in terms of goal-mouth action, but let's get straight into it and take some of these points that we did gather. 14th minute, as early as that already, from a set play, the ball came in, but not a perfect execution of a header there.
It's Intando Mbangata rising the highest, but he closes his eyes in the critical point where he's meeting the ball in the air. Supposed to open his eyes, allow the ball to meet the ball with the forehead. He's closing his eyes. That's why the ball hits him on the side of his head. But if there's a goal that is going to be in this game, it's going to come from a set play. We saw a set play from Spear, but they didn't execute it well with Untando closing his eyes in the critical phase.
But you got to give credit to that cross that whips in, though.
The cross was perfect. And what Pumuzo is talking about, I think I've had a conversation with Surprise before in people who hate the ball. He used to tell me, if the ball comes with that pace, you don't go with the pace to the ball. Then you'll misjudge it because then you just have to make sure that you make right contact with the ball. And that should be a goal, to be honest. If Pumuzo was there, I'm sure it's going to be a goal.
That makes a lot of sense. It's coming at a high volume. It's whipped in. It's got a nice serve to it, Pumuzo, and he attempts to attack it as well.
Yeah, that's why we always say use the jackknife technique. Let the ball come to you. Just redirect the direction of the ball. Don't attack the ball. You attack the ball that is floated. The floated ones you attack with vigor and power. But one that is brought in like that, you just need to redirect the header. But also try to head the ball against the ground, which what we call the jackknife technique. Makes it also difficult for the goalkeeper to make a save. In that instance, just redirect the ball in time.
And of course, that would have been the best opportunity of that first half. I mean, the most clearest of goal. But it came again and again in the 16th minute, as we see it here. And Nyson Chigacho kills two players there. And once again, that penetrative pass there. This was great play. This was what we thought we would see when you see these Barcelona colors.
Well, this was a good build-up, to be honest. And this is what I thought. There's half a chance where somebody could easily penetrate and use the ball correctly, particularly when you're in the box of the opponent. And I think it took forever to decide whether you wanted to take a shot or to make a crossbar. But to be honest, if you are in that position at a semi-final like this, a match where there's no many opportunities, I think that one you should try and hit the goalkeeper and see what's going to happen.
Ryan Butchis can always say, I mean, look at where he comes from, what he's playing. He made the good pass and then he made a good run into there. You could even see him watching the offside line there.
When we go back to that moment, I want to look at Ryan Pakis. I will pause it when he's on the ball because when you go, he starts the move on the right side of midfield. When he starts that move on the right side of the midfield, when we go to it, you're gonna see Posey there. He's the man on the ball. He's the man on the ball. He takes out two defenders with that move that he makes. As you roll it forward, you're going to see that he plays the ball to Raiden in midfield. After playing that ball to Raiden in midfield, keep your eye on jersey number 4. Pause it there. He's checking if he's onside. He's trying to stay in line with the last defender in front of him. little did you know that there's a defender behind him that is keeping him on side.
When you cheated a lot.
Yes, when you roll it to him, now he has got all that space and time. But in this instance, that's where I complain about decision making. Should have taken the shot a little bit earlier, because the more he goes closer to the byline, the angle is becoming more difficult for him to be able to have the shot. But a great move by him in that instance, starting the move and finishing the move.
That's a great move that I thought we would have seen a lot more of that. But we did see some ball playing, some dribbles in the box here. Exciting stuff. This time around coming from a different source here. Goes into the box. Not sure about what happens there as far as that dive is concerned. And if perhaps more could have been done there, Tlhompo.
I think he did a very good run, to be honest. But inside the box, that's where you take chances. After doing this good run, I think you just toe poke it. 2 goals. You can't dribble everybody, particularly when you're in the box already. There's nothing.
He's killed so many players.
Yeah, you have to toe poke it here. That's our goal. But he wanted to over-elaborate it, and that's why he made that mistake.
A man coming off the bench there, he's still full of energy, Dlamini.
Yes, Fundo Dlamini scored in the last game of the group stages. But what is the problem is he's looking for a touch. He's looking for a touch. No one is fouling him. He's looking for a touch to fall. He goes past 3-4 players before he cuts in. Have the shot. Before you cut in, you have the shot. It's not a lot of times in the game where you will have that space and time to be able to have the shot. Before he turns inside, there is where he needs to have the shot. Yeah. Have the shot there. Not cut in, have the shot. But they take away space and time, and they do that very smartly because they don't make contact with his body. They only make contact with the ball.
Well, Tlhompo, you spoke about the stats, or what would they'd look like in this match. And you're going to see the same thing we see in the DSTV Premiership at Bafana level. Very disappointing that at this level of the game, we're not seeing a lot more goal-mouth action. On target, nothing from Spear, only 1 from MM.
I think with this match, I would say the only challenge here is when players want to apply themselves differently than how they used to apply themselves before the live matches. And I would easily say that because you can easily tell how they play in today's match. You can see this is a team that they scored 4 goals before, and in this match they don't have a shot on target. So it tells you that in this match they apply themselves differently because there's cameras. There's certain things that maybe they used to do, but now they can't do because there's cameras, you know.
Well, those cameras are live now, back at the Orland Stadium out in Potchefstroom. And giving you the commentary. The First Lady la. Uchilisile miya. Akahapi yedwa nangu Ray.
Asibonge ke kakhulu ke studio ke Auckland Park njengoba ke sithatha ke intambo ke sikhona ke la Northwest Orland Park Stadium ke umdlalo ke phakathi kwe Spear of the Nation badlala ke nayo ke iPlatinum FC njengoba ke sibuya ke esombeni ke sesibili oshintsho bamkhipha lapha uNepia bafaka ke uSipho Mahlangu abayo ke laphana ke iPlatinum FC kanti ke nangapha futhi ke Spear of the Nation balwenzile ke ushintsho njengoba ke bamkhiphile ke uAyanda Lembede obedlala ke laphana ke phambili njenga ke nomgadli endawo yakhe ke yase ke ithathwa ke uyena ke uNhlakanipho ubane na i red card assistant coach le assistant coach Platinum ithola ke i-red card kodwa ke ahambe ke manje ke abuyele lapha e-dressing room ngoba umlomo wakhe ke akafuni ke ukuvala la umsisi ke wakhe ke uAshraf Hendricks lase ke elisuka ke lihlala ebhola ke esombeni ke esesibili siye khefini ke besithi ke not platinum not SPA of the nation yabona ke lo mdlalo uyawadinga amagoli ngoba ke isombe sokuqala abesisihle sishoda ke ngamagoli vele ke namhlanje kukhona ke iqembu noma kulo mdlalo khona iqembu okumele ke lidliwe yabona ke size kulo mdlalo asibone nje le yabhola ke elihle ngene boxing lapha kodwa ke alangashayeka ke kahle ke ibhola koyena ke laphana ke uKademeya phasenhle futhi ke bafuna ke laphana ke uNkhubane olunye ushintsho bamkhiphile ke lapha ka uThemba John bafaka ke uJoshua Sauls oshintsho ke olwenziwe ke uyena ke uAshraf Hendricks ananga umbovu uNkhubane ongeneleke yena ke laphana ke le Mbete nayi futhi enye iyellow card emzuzu nje uwodwa sibheke kwesibili sesibona amakhadi amabili eyoqala ke banikeze lapha red card assistant coach nali ke ikhadi ke futhi ke liyaphuma banikeza yona ke laphana ke iplatinum asibone ke le free kick ukuthi ke bazoyenza njani ke naba ke beyiphakamisa kodwa ke iphuma ke eceleni kwepali ke lakhe ke naku kuthiwa ke akube ke ikhona kodwa ke akube ke ikhona uyakhala ke lapha abonolo ke ukuthi ke awungeke nompempe awubonanga ke kahle kodwa ke ikhona athe Nkosi abawuthi uyena ke ozoyithatha ke le yakhona athe Nkosi uyayiphakamisa ke yinhle ifuna amakhanda sala phansi yena ke laphana ke uSiyanda Khumalo base ke ebelixosha ke emuva ke abayo ke laphana ke platinum asibone nali ithuba ke laphana ke kodwa ke yamaka kahle kakhulu ke emuva defense ke SPA of the nation umthobisi Msomi anontando ompangatha onompempe kodwa ke sekhona ke offside uyabona ke sizeke kule mdlalo ayosuku ke la namhlanje amagoli ke aseshawe ke la kulama playoffs awu22 njengoba ke namhlanje singakaboni ke nelodwa ke igoli yanti penalty eyodwa ke beyinikezwe ke iMagesi bayivalela ke phakathi eMagesi ke futhi elona qembu elinamagoli ke amaningi asibone ke nanke lapha Freedom Mavundla ngene boxini uMavundla zama ukushaya uMavundla lapha eceleni kwepali ke ibhola ke lakhe Freedom Mavundla umfana ke wase Potchefstroom lo akwaZulu Natal uFreedom Mavundla awuqalile ke umdlalo ngesikhathi ke bedlala ke umdlalo ke wokuqala kodwa awesibili ke azange ke asadlala njengoba ke engena ke njenga enesaphu manje ke kulomdlalo ke yena ke uMavundla Osimo Dladla lo yayi ngimbona lapha ohamba ke nama scout eRichards Bay FC njengoba ke inyuselwe ke kuyona ke iPremiership eRichards Bay ama playoffs kade nje evalwa ke ngolesithathu njengoba ke iSwallows ekwazile ukuthi ke igcine ke istatus ama tax ke aseke ehluleka ke kusho ukuthi ke bazoqala ke bayozama kabusha abayo ke laphana ke ama tax Richards Bay ila ezobheka ke abadlali ukuze ke baqinise ke iqembu njenga nawo wonke ke amaqembu ke asayinisayo yabona ke iMagesi elona qembu ke elishaya ke amagoli ke ngempela kanjalo ke NSPA of the nation emidlalweni ke emibili bashaye 5 goals Real Madrid yaseKimberley ilona qembu elivuzayo emuva akumangaze ukuthi ke ibona abagodu ke kuqala ngoba ke badedele 6 goals SPA of the nation sibashaye ke ngo 3-1 kuyibona abakore kuqala ababuya ke abafana base Eastern Cape bavalela phakathi ke amagoli amathathu ethi kwena igodukile ingazange ishayeke nelodwa igoli asibone nje la awunophephe uthi ke umdlalo ke awuqhubeke nje bemlahla phansi ke laphana ke uSamkelo Fumaniso eyabuya manje ke iPlatinum ohlezi phansi osiyanda lapha ohlezi phansi uNgubane Anhlakanipho siyanda Ngubane nangu ke uNgubane ke bemdlala kabi edlalisa ke kabi ke uLusenga ongene ke kulesombe ke esesibili ke iyena ke uNgubane onamagoli ke amathathu kule season ke njengoba ke igoqwa njengoba ke sesikuwona ke ama playoffs ayena ke la uNhlakanipho uNgubane ama fouls 11 kwa5 ayo ke laphana ke I spear of the nation asikho sonke ilanga oyabuya futhi ke mfoka langa anal ke manje ibhola belibeka kahle endleleni yakhe ke ulanga cross kalanga unompempe uthi leshayiseke esandleni ke leliya bhola lizobekwa phansi kube ke ibhola ke elayo ke lapha ePlatinum free kick ngakwesokunxele iyePlatinum goalkeeper Asimiso Ndlela at 28 years kumele ke alungise alo liyadonga ke elwayo ke eliyayo ke iPlati spear of the nation ethathwa uyena futhi ke ulanga oyayiphamisa yinhle oyayivimba kodwa ke ugoalkeeper ekhona iyePlatinum obeshaye kahle kakhulu ayibeka ke ngempela kodwa ke ugoalkeeper obeyibonile ke waseke eyiphebeza ephuma ke ephezulu kwebhala sibone ke lekhona futhi oyavimba laphana ke Thamsanqa Ngobeza bayabuya futhi abafana ke ebePlatinum nali ibhola ngekhanda ke eboxini kodwa ke uyavimba futhi ke ugoalkeeper Abunolo bebefuna ke Ryan Bachisi ebhola ke elaseke eliphuma ke ephezulu noma ke ngale ke ngaphesha kwenkundla kuthiwa ke alibuye lizophoswa Kaydin oyaphosa alebuyela kuyena Kaydin base benikeza manje captain Lusenga zama ukushaya ke laphana ke ucaptain kodwa ke uyalithatha ke ugoalkeeper Osimiso Ndlela alaphansi ke manje ke yena ke Samkelo Ofumaniso ayishiya ke ngakwesokunxele ke kuyena ke laphana ke emenelo onjongo ubona ke athe Nkosi abawuthi liyonakala ibhola ke elespear of the nation oyabathathela ke yena ke Kaydin Kademea kodwa ke uzama ke ukhahlela ke ekude ebhola ke laseke eliphuma ke ephezulu akwamabhali nile save yakhe uSimiso Ndlela evimba ke ibhola ke likasikho sonke langa onompempe ke nangethi ke alibekwe phansi free kick leya kodwa ke udlale kabi lapha lisekho sibehlele umfana ke wase Dubsonville le 23 years awuke wadlalela ke yona futhi ke iUJ free kick nangu futhi ke laba emdlalise khona kabi onhlakanipho wamudla maqakala free kick asibone ke le free kick okhona ke laphana ke athenkosi bawuthi alungisa ke uDonga ke manje usidingo uncuma lo isizini yakhe yesithathu ke la kule qembu ke ele platinum ke umfana ke wase Alex bayishiyela nje uAthenkosi ukuthi ke akube ke uyena ke oyishayayo nompempe ke ulungisa ke uDonga SPS akholwa suDonga eplatinum nabo futhi asibone ukuthi ke yini ke le abafuna ukuyenza abayo iSPM Athenkosi oyayiphakamisa iphuma kude kakhulu ke namapali le free kick yakhe ke Athenkosi 10 minutes esombeni ke esesibili and not Spear of the Nation and not a Platinum FC.
And both teams still searching for their point of difference just yet. Both Platinum and Spear of the Nation not finding that focal point. And it's a typical knockout game, it has to be said. Both teams, as that clock starts ticking on, it has to be said, the nerves most definitely will be amped up as we near the final whistle. But a free kick in favour of Langa and Platinum. Rather had a good share of the ball in that first half, did Langa, so he'll be hoping his deliveries are a little bit more on point and accurate here in the second half. But a change now. Van Wyk coming on for the young Caden Rademeyer. So the young left footer coming off after a good shift, that has to be said. And he looks for Langa. Langa whips it in. And yet again, Spear of the Nation holding firm. Langa not finding and breaking that first man. Getting the ball across the first man as he tries to whip it in again, Langa, but charged down. Spear of the Nation have definitely realized that the attack is flowing from the side of Langa. But a throw in now for the young man. Of course, with unmistakable blue hair, the long throw in goes in. Tempted flick on there. And by, I think it was Ngubeza, but not quite working out for Platinum. And La Masia still searching for their opening goal. It has to be said, they are finding it difficult in this tournament to find the back of the net. They've only done that once in 2+ games that they've played. So still a lot of work to do for Platinum. You can't just rely on your defense to get you access into that Glad Africa Championship. As he looks long. Once again, Spear of the Nation. It seems as if everyone now in the midfield is starting to become that little bit more isolated. And spaces are definitely starting to show up as Sifundo gets away from his marker. Trying to find support. And almost coming off there for Spear of the Nation. Of course, a team who capped off their group with the same amount of points as Magesi FC, but it was Magesi's superior goal difference that proved to be the difference in the race for the group's winner title. Spear of the Nation did finish their group stage campaign as the highest ranked runners-up, and which is why they are here this afternoon. Just waiting for a corner to come in for Martin Corsi. Martin Corsi whips it in. Ball still not cleared away. Volley. Fiddled out. Almost getting it away there. And the flicks on header. Almost finding the back of the net, but an offside call there. Tobisi hit it so very well there from the air. Plucked it out from the air. And unfortunately was charged down, but caught it sweetly. It has to be said, but an offside call there. And that onslaught has fizzled out, and Platinum can now build once again from the back. Almost given away there, and slightly interested there was Sifundo. Early offside call there, of course. Well, they're certain about that one. 2 offsides apiece for Spear of the Nation and Platinum as they look to go long. Sifundo once again making that run. We just look at that offside call once again. Slender Baikis on the far side of the field, trying to wriggle some breathing space, but losing out. Spear of the Nation hoarding him And applying the pressure in numbers, it has to be said. Attacking in those pods. And referee calling for the medic here. A blow to the midriff. It can be rather nasty. It can wind you. It can take the wind out of your sails. And the wind has certainly not been taken out of the sails of both these teams. Still pushing for their opening equalizer. That's definitely a hard one to swallow for Seko. Taken out on the stretcher, but we do expect him back shortly. Bonolo Seko, a number of tackles made in that midfield. A ball winner, it has to be said, almost a jackal in the midfield. And taken off there on the stretcher. We expect him back shortly, but Platinum will have to do with one-man deficit as they give it back there. Good short sportsmanship shown by the team from Gauteng. Interestingly enough, Spear of the Nation can meet their fellow Group A members, Magesi FC, in the final of on Sunday, if it all goes to plan. But Platinum, as well as Northwest University, after this one, will be hoping that they can change that script. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that if you were wondering about extra time or penalties, we are nearing that 90-minute mark. And if the 90-minute comes and we are still scoreless, or it's still a draw, we will go to a penalty shootout. So do stay tuned for that one. And I wouldn't rule it out, because we have to mention that the defense has been rock solid from both teams, and it's been a typical knockout game for both these teams, so a penalty shootout would definitely not be surprising. But still a half an hour to play, and Platinum might just be a shot on goal. A number of yards outside, but decided to take that one early, and not quite finding the target. An early taste of the leather there, his first shot of this afternoon. And it was just 24 hours ago that the Eastern Cape champions booked their place in the semi-finals with a 3-1 win over Kimberley Real Madrid in the final match of Group A. As Sifundo makes a run here, it was a case of 3 points or bust for most teams in yesterday's final round of group stage action. And the 3 points went in favor of the team from Limpopo. They did suffer an early setback, an early goal, and coach Sibusiso Mapopo mentioned it in his pre-match interview that it was so important for them to bounce back in that second half, and a team that definitely starts to warm up and find their feet in an encounter as the clock ticks on. All the way back now. Fontumalo taking his time, trying to find a long pass option. Trying to find Naper, but instead finds Temba John. All the way to the back now, trying to thread a ball there, in there. Spear of the Nation, having none of it, but they now have the ascendancy to break from the midfield. Passes not going to their man, and losing out here. Platinum just might be in. Little clip ball through over. And the ball goes in. Keeper parries it. And it's an offside call there. Very well spotted. A number of offsides there in quick succession for the linesman to deal with. But as I was saying previously, Spear of the Nation did suffer an early setback thanks to Kimberley striker Thomas, but the team from the Eastern Cape put in a wonderful display to ensure the continuation of their story in this year's playoff, as Langa shifts it again onto his left foot. Back to the Spear of the Nation, of course, Mvuntla. And he is through here, is Sifundo. Powerful run, but not quite powerful and quick enough from Sifundo. He's been playing on the shoulders here this afternoon, a man that has had a booking, so he'll just have to watch himself if he does want to feature on Sunday's showpiece event. Ball just bouncing all over the place now before I hand back to you, Tuli. 65 minutes gone, it's still 0-0, still so much to play for. The deadlock is still unbroken. The defense is holding tight, and it seems as if the attacks of both teams aren't having the necessary answers. But a yellow card is shown here once again. Number 10, Khumalo Siyanda. Eventually receiving his yellow card, the captain, Siyanda Khumalo. And he'll definitely have to watch himself, especially in that midfield where you can make the odd 50-50 tackle. As we just look there, Khumalo on the red yellow card that he did indeed receive. But I think that was an earlier foul. Before I hand back to Tuli, a long ball here for Mvundla. Still with it, isolating his defender, Langa, doing very well to usher him out, and it's a goal kick. Loving that one is the number 12 left back, Langa.
Uyabona ke isikhathi ke esiyahamba ke Reke ushila ukuthi ke lo mdlalo uma ngabe ke uphela ke ngedraw siya nje straight ke kuona ke ama penalty ayikho ke la I extra time. Uzokhumbula ke ukuthi ke nangesizini edlule 2020-2021 umdlalo ke phakathi kweHungry Lions nePlatinum City Rovers, lo mdlalo kwaze ke kwalamula ke wona ke ama penalty ngoba ke iscore 90 minutes ke yaphela ke sithi ke not anangaphambi kwalapho futhi asibone nali ithuba lapha shot ngempela egcwalisile. Kodwa ke elase ke eliphuma ke eceleni ke kwephali bemshake wama ngempela ke laphana ke uSmiso Ndlela anange buya futhi ke manje laphana ke Ryan banikeza ukapteni alusenga oyalwa laphana ke uRyan usala phansi abuNolo Siyekho onoMpepe ke uthi ke free kick 25 years awunamagoli ke amabili ke kule season evalwayo ke uBunolo Siyekho bakhetha ke ukuyidlala ke leya free kick. Bengisakutshela ke ukuthi ke mangabe ke lo mdlalo ogcina ke uya ke kuma penalty kozobe ke ingayona ke imidlalo ke iyoqala asibone ke nali ithuba lapha lebaceza bonke alibaceza ke bonke eboxini ke abayo ke iPlatinum bayabuya manje babuya ke naye ke laphana ke uSipho Sethu Mahlangu ekhanda kodwa eceleni ke kwephali. Uyabona ke futhi ke ifinal yango 2019-2020 ephizana nePretoria Kellies, leyo final futhi ke iyakwadlalwa ke kwashawa ke ama penalty ngoba ke umdlalo ke waphela ke ngo 5-1 ngo noma ke ngo 1-1 yase ke iPhondo iwina ke ngo 5-4. Uyabona ke ngempela ke ukuthi ke kunzima, asazi ke ukuthi ke iliphi ke iqembu ke elizonqoba la bese ke futhi ke ngesonto alidlale ke iyona ke final ke ukhumbule ukuthi ke omunye ke umdlalo olandelayo ke osukwini la namhlanje ke isemi final yesibili phakathi ke kwayo ke iMagezi ezodlala ke nayo ke iNorthwest University baxavule kabuhlungu izolo Clinton Lasine aneqembu lakhe ke iSummerfield Dynamos bebadla ke ngo 3-1 awusala phansi ke laphana ke uSifundo Dlamini. Asmiso Ndlela ke umfana ke waseHawick emapalini ke njengoba ke elisusa awasala phansi amavundla awunompempe unikeza ke ifree kick abafana ke ebase Eastern Cape. Yabona le ndoda le Sifundo Dlamini ubanikeza nje enkulu inkinga lapha phambili, unegoli elilodwa lishayeke ngesikhathi bedlala ke nayo ke iKimberley. Umfana ke wase Elandscope lo kwamafunze angaphandle nje kwancane ke kwase eMaritzburg unamagoli ke awu16 ole season ke evalayo ke uyambona nje ukuthi unamandla onejubane ayena ke uSifundo Dlamini. throw in Abunolo Sieko. Kodwa ke akaliphosi ibhola kodwa ke wavele ke wahlala phansi ke uSidingo uNxumalo. Odlala ke umdlalo wakhe ke wesithathu ke kuona ke ama playoffs awukho umdlalo ke angawudlalanga. Ayiyena ke uSidingo uNxumalo. 26 years umfana ke wase Alex. Season ke yakhe yesithathu le. Eqenjini ke ele platinum ke yabona abalandeli ke bakhona. Abayayithokozela ke ngempela ke lemidlalo. Nangu Motsepe Motsepe. Ayenginozinti lo. Obela eqeqesha ke iqembu lezizwe United amkhumbula ukuthi wayo goalkeeper ke weSantos nako chipa futhi wayekhona ke yena ke engu goalkeeper nakumaZulu futhi ke wake wavimba kodwa manje ke usewumqeqeshi Motsepe Motsepe. Anhlakanipho ongkhubane sebemlahle phansi ke kwaze kwaba ke kabili amafoul kuyena amabili. Nangu nje lawo onompempe uthi wena udive kakhulu awena ke enhlakanipho ongubane ungene ke ngesombe sesibili ongubane kodwa ke unompempe uthi nje uyadive umbheke nje namanje akuningi ngempela ke nangu unompempe uyasho ukuthi uyadive ngizokubhala futhi ke manje ngoba ke kade ke ngikuxolela usho ke unompempe awazi ke noma umyalelo kawuthole ebenchini ukuthi kazama ukuthi manje esithole ke ama free kick ekuyena ke laphana ke unhlakanipho ngubane abafuna uSifundo Dlamini phambili alifiki ke ibhola ke kuyena ke uDlamini. Hey ay yatayela mayeliphosa ke ibhola ke yena ke la uSidingo awumfana ke wakanxumalo lo uSivide Kalanga eliphumela ke laphana ke ngaphandle ibhola bayaliphosa abafuna ke laphana ke uLusenga kothiwa ke leliya bhola ke eseliphumele ke ngaphandle kothiwa ke eseliphumele ke ngaphandle Sidingo Nxumalo ombheke nje liphosa ibhola elinikeza ke yena obheke nje ento engabheki la eliphosa khona othi ke ngempela ke yena ke uSidingo uNxumalo no look through strayla man no look pass ayike lena ke yakhe uNxumalo siyaqala ke ukuyibona kodwa ke noma ke eyiphosa ke lapha mengabe edlala phansi uyadlala oyakwazi ngempela ukunikeza ke umdlali yena ke laphana ke uNxumalo nangu umuntu eyiwela bo oyawa ke lapha uKylie Lakey awungene ke endaweni ke yakhe Brandon Morris asibone manje ke bayaphambili ke abafana beplatinum bayavimba Mavundla ephasente enhle asibone manje ke ijubane ke lapha bafuna ke Khumalo okadile Lakey nange ngene eboxini nalithuba lapha ayavala ke laphana ke emuva awusi ibehlele ebhola ke laseke eliphumela ke ngaphandle avele ke wahlala phansi elisekho sibehlele odlalise kabi ke uyena ke uFreedom Mavundla ngemuva kokuthi ke edefende kahle kakhulu ke yena ke uSibehlele oyasukuma uqhubukeka nawo ke umdlalo awuthi sibone ke ukuthi ke la ngoba lo goalkeeper muhle nokudlala ngenyawo oyakwazi ke nokuliphasa njengoba ke eliphakamisa bafuna ke yena ke la Ryan Apaches Lusenga awasala phansi ke ukapteni esingini ke esecenter esikhathi siyahamba 15 minutes manje ke esele ke ebhodini not platinum and not spear of the nation.
To go, and both these teams will be hoping that they can avoid that penalty shootout, but 15 minutes still to play, so still so much time for either team to break that deadlock. But a lovely challenge in the air there by Sifundo. Eyes on the ball. It's always been eyes on the ball for the number 9. He's been quite active today, especially off the ball. Did Sifundo Dlamini. Definitely one that does make himself available to bounce the ball off and bring in the players like the likes of Ayanda and Sianda, the captain, alongside with him. As Langa gets it away, bursts it upfield. A header there by Baikis, given away by Baikis now. Spear of the Nation maybe sense an opportunity, yeah. Kumalo Sianda going out wide to the far side of the field. Stiduzo losing out there. Stiduzo once more going back in field, venturing forwards is the young left back. Spear of the Nation biding their time, waiting for their moment to strike. Langa holding firm there in defense, keeping his eyes on the ball and maybe taking a hit there, and a free kick has been given to MM Platinum. Langa eventually making and finding his feet once again. Spear of the Nation, of course, based in the Sukuba village in the Winnie Madikizela Mandela region in the Eastern Cape. They were crowned Eastern Cape champions back in the month of March, and it was a relatively comfortable victory as they defeated Bishu Stars 2-0 on their home turf at the Mount Aleph Sport Ground. But that Eastern Cape Conference was in fact dominated by the side in action today, but it's flicked on. MM Platinum might just get through here. Van Wyk putting the ball in at the edge of the box. His good shot goes in. And a challenge there for the keeper to deal with, and lucky for him, just sneaks over the top of the car. Ryan Baikis keeping his eyes on the ball and taking it from there, plucking it out of the air. Beautiful attempt on goal. Controlling it ever so well from the air, just not managing to keep it down and challenging Simiso. But as I mentioned, the Eastern Cape Conference that Spear of the Nation were operating in was dominated by the side in action today, with many teams playing catch up with the men in white and blue. So they enter these playoffs with rather plentiful local provincial pedigree. Van Wyk now on the left-hand flank. Just taking his time and finding support, waiting for the support. And it's eventually in the form of the captain, Lusenga. Back to Lusenga. Will hop on over. Trying to win the free kick there at the edge of the box. Referee not paying too much close attention to that. And Langa gets charged down by Kumalo Sianda here on the near side. As you can see there, Ashraf Hendricks, well off his seat there. Before we make some changes once again. And it seems as if it's Spear of the Nation now, opting for some fresh legs in the final 10 minutes. Number of changes, the captain as well, Kumalo Sianda, I beg your pardon, coming off. And the captain armband now being transferred, of course. Shabangu coming on for Fumaniso. We'll confirm that other change with you just now. Spear of the Nation retrieve the ball at the edge of their penalty area once again. But it has to be said, MM Platinum have made it difficult for both themselves and the opposition to play out from the back. Mkize, as you can see there, the top left-hand side of your screen, coming on for the captain, Kumalo, in that center attacking midfielder. So it's definitely quite large shoes to fill there from Mkhize, but he's in the heart of the midfield, and Mkhize finds Sifundo now. Sifundo, a strong character, looking for Sifundo once again. Definitely one of your traditional number 9 target men, the focal point of the Spear of the Nation. As you can see there, the crowd desperately seeking a goal, desperately seeking a point of difference. And it might just come here from a corner opportunity. 5 corners from Spear of the Nation. Haven't managed to capitalize just one of them. And it eventually goes in. It's an in-swinging delivery at the back post. Crossing the face of goal, but MM Platinum thanking their lucky stars once again. Crossfield ball, trying to find Mhlango. Spear of the Nation responding with their own crossfield ball for Sifundo. Sifundo losing out there. Langa now has some running space here. The runway, the left-hand runway here for Langa to run into. And the cross eventually not finding its man, and Spear of the Nation finding the stands there. Dlamini, of course, Dlamini Sifundo has scored a penalty before in these playoffs, as well as Kumalo. So Spear of the Nation have definitely had their experience from the penalty spot, and they have executed. So they might not bother too much if this game is to be decided from a penalty shootout. But a number of players running forward now. Mkhize off the rebound, almost bouncing in the back of the net, but exceptional keeper work there, snuffing out the danger in Kumalo. We saw his fancy pass, rather fancy pass earlier on, now doing a traditional goalkeeping job and snuffing out the danger and snuffing out the opportunity for the substitute Mkhize. And the new captain, of course, it has to be said, captaining his side for the final 10 minutes. A rather tall player, so they'll be looking to use his height, especially in the final minutes when they can potentially make use of those set-piece opportunities. All the way on the far side of the field with Van Wyk. Wriggles some room here. And eventually well defended there from Martin Corsi. He's definitely been busy today. Not only in the heart of that defensive midfield, but also one that expands his trade into the set-piece opportunities. A real set-piece specialist, they regard him as in the Eastern Cape, wearing the number 30 on the back of his jersey. But MM Platinum now with a decent attacking opportunity there on the far side of the field. And it's wriggled free. The cross goes in. And a corner now for MM Platinum. And Van Wyk, Mhlango, as well as Napier will be licking their lips at a prospect to edge their team into a 1-0 advantage. Only time will tell. 10 minutes or so to go, including stoppage time. But a chance here. Of course, the set-piece opportunity is ever so dangerous. And zonal marking adopted here from Spear of the Nation. But it's a flicked on it off the bar! Off the bar! In a blink of an eye, almost out of nothing, getting the crowd off their seat. Baikis, of course, they're coming off for Tukane. In the heart of that midfield for MM Platinum. And it seems as if it was a fingertip save there from Nkomalo. But coming off the bar, a number of players there on the line. Smiso, as well as a combination of his defenders ensuring that that didn't sneak in underneath the bar, but it could have easily done so. And the bar ensuring that the score remains 0-0. Studuzo puts it in, or at least tries to, and gets it horribly wrong. And a goal kick once again for MM Platinum, approaching the last 5 minutes of this encounter. And it's been a similar second half to what we've seen in the first half. both teams struggling to deal with the fitness, it has to be said. So a number of changes rung by both teams. But it seems as if we're going to have a barnstorming finish here in the final 5 minutes. But off to you now, Tuli, to finish off here, and hopefully we can see a goal in the last 5 minutes.
Yabona ke manje ke ngempela ke kancane ke imzuzu iya ngokuya ke iphela. Lokho ke ngempela ke kuyasho ukuthi uma ngabe ke izinto ke ezima kanje ama penalty sizowa abona. Asibone ke le bhola ke elihle abalibeka ke kamnandi nali futhi ke belibuyisa kodwa yabona ama touches maningi kakhulu. Asipho sethu uma ahlangu ongene ke esombeni ke esesibili ofuna ukuthi ke aligoba libuyisa ibhola ke ngabe ke uzama ke ukhahlela goalkeeper wayo ke la ispear uyasebenza. Yabona ke lo mdlali awutsidiso utukane uzomkhumbula lapha koMpumalanga Black Aces wayedlala khona umfana ke wase sibukengi nakoJomo futhi ke wake wathi ke ugijima la tsidiso awutukane uyena ke lo ongena ke manje emzuzu ke iya ke ngokwancane ke iyophela laphana ke ebhodini eqembu ke ngempela ke elizonqoba ke la alizothola imkomelo emibili. Owoqala bangena kwiGlad Africa, awesibili ke bazodlala ke ifinal. Asibone nje nali ithuba bafuna ke laphana ke uNhlakanipho kodwa ke alifiki ke kulena ke ibhola ke uNhlakanipho Ngubane awungene ke esombeni ke esesibili. Anange libamba ke kamnandi Asipho sethu Mahlangu enikeza ke Tukane bhola kodwa ke liyaphela laphana ke ku goalkeeper Simiso Ndlela. Oyaphuma ugoalkeeper nangu umuntu elibamba ke ngesandla ke ibhola uNompempe umbhekile. Anompempe ke umbhekile uBongani Shabangu ongene ke endaweni ke yakhe Siyanda Khumalo. Awubonile ukuthi ke ibhola ke liyamshiya. Wasebona ke ukuthi ke akalibambe ke ngesandla kanti ke uNompempe ke umbhekile. Yabona ke ispear of the nation esizini yonke induku abayazi laphana ke kuyona ke iSapphires Eastern Cape nathi futhi elinye ithuba kodwa ke liyabaceza futhi bekuzama yena Sipho sethu Mahlangu isizini yonke njengoba kuyibona ke abaqede laphana ke ephezulu induku abayazi 16 games bawina 15 base ke beba ke ne draw nje eyodwa. Oyabona ke ukuthi leqembu ke ngempela ke elinzima. Asibone futhi ke ibhola ke belifaka ke eboxini. Asibone manje ke ijubane abafuna Sheldon van Wyk kodwa ke ibhola ke alifiki ke kuyena ke Sheldon van Wyk. Uyabona ke iqembu elizonqoba la lizodlala ke ifinal alikhushulele esigabeni seGlad Africa aliphinde futhi alithole ke nesheke leka 600,000 izinto ke ezimbili ngempela ezothola ke iqembu ke elizonqoba la. Okhona ke indoda ke ehlezi phansi iyaphuma futhi iyellow card. Hey look Nompempe uyawakhipha ama yellow card elesibili. Amenelo Njongo a red card emenele Njongo. Uma ngabe iqembu lakhe liwina la ngeke azadlale emdlalweni ke olandelayo. Nangu la engena kabuhlungu koSheldon van Wyk Onompempe waseke emnikeza ke ekhadi ke elibovu umfana ke wase Harding yabona manje bazodlala lo 3 minutes beshota Lusenga oyaliphakamisa othini ke lapho bathi babona ngathi ibhola lishaya esandleni kodwa umdlalo ke uyaqhubeka Tsidiso Tukane oyaliphosa unikeza akhayile lakhe libuyele kuyena futhi ke Tsidiso olishiya kuMahlangu eliyemphunyuka uMahlangu baphinda ke bayiqala ke kabusha abafana ke ebeplatinum banikeza ke laphana ke uLusenga ngakwesokunxele uyedwa laphana ke uLanga oyaligoba ke uLanga kodwa leya cross inde kakhulu ayinde nje kakhulu ke leya cross obefuna ke uJoshua Sauls bayisidlala ke ngokusheshsha ngoba ke nabo kuthiwa ke badlale kabi Bongani Shabangu oyaliphakamisa manje ke emuva Mthobisi Msomi oyalithatha uLanga phezu kwe-D-line Sauls lapha eceleni kwepali eceleni kwepali eyasinda SP of the Nation obheke nje phezu kwe-D-line no-goalkeeper kekho epalini ethi ke ulivalela ke phakathi laseke liphuma ke eceleni ke kwepali esipho sethu Mahlangu belimshiyile ke ugoalkeeper Osmiso kodwa ke nake manje awubheke nje belimshiyile ke yena ke laphana ke uSmiso eTukane oshiya ke kuLanga oyalivala ke uLanga uyabheka oyalibiza uTukane bamnikeza Tsidiso asibone manje ke iyasondela lapha iPlatinum bazama ukuthi ke bafune laphana ke bunalo labuyela kuTsidiso Tukane nange manje edlule endodeni oyashaya Tsidiso yabhakusi nethi umsusu yogcina owani ePlatinum not spear of the nation elihle igoli likaTsidiso Tukane isuper sub kusuke khulunywa ke ngento enje bathwala izandla ekhanda abalandeli bespear of the nation wasiphula inhliziyo zabalandeli base Eastern Cape Tsidiso uTukane kodwa ke abaseGauteng ibona ke bajabula nakho yonke into iqale la wasondela Tsidiso wasusa indoda phambi kwakhe waphakamisa amehlo walibeka lapha kofa post wezwa ngendaba ke ugoalkeeper awaso ke ispear of the nation yabona ke besengizitshela ukuthi ke sobona ama penalty kanti cha esipiliyoni makuthiwa asithengwa kokhulunywa ngabantu ke abafana ke nabo Tsidiso Tukane oyakhombisa ukuthi yena ke dale gudla kade zazimnetha imvula oyazi ukuthi imidlalo ke ekanje iwinwa nini esikhathi futhi ke manje ke naso ke siyiphelile one Platinum not spear of the nation Platinum ke mangabe ke umdlalo uphela kanje ibona abazodlala kwifinal goalkeeper emuva Sidingo Onxumalo thatha isikhathi sakhe ngoba ke oyazi ukuthi ke umdlalo uya kancane uyaphela ayiphukile inhliziyo kaSibusiso Omapompo ophinda uzame ngelinye ilanga ndoda ngoba ke namhlanje akulona usuku lwespear of the nation wasuphela ke umdlalo Oyaphela ke umdlalo la eOlin Park Stadium ke uphela ke sithi 1 ePlatinum not Spear of the Nation. Yabona ke iPlatinum endlela ke abajabule ke ngakhona kuyakutshela nje ukuthi bayazi ukuthi siyodlala ifinal ngesonto futhi siyangena kuGledi Africa Championship noma ngabe kwenzakalani kuyona ke ifinal. Abavele ke ebalala babheka phezulu abadlali ke iyo ke ibayiso Spear of the Nation abazamile kodwa emsamo yabo ke ayibasizanga ndawo. Tsidiso Tukane engena kusele 5 minutes na kwamadoda bo efuna ke ukulwa manje. Abadlali ke balaphana ke i-Spear of the Nation yabona bahahameza ke uNompempe sekuze kwaphoqa ukuthi ke kungene abazolekelela ke baphume ke naye ke laphana ke uNompempe kodwa ke umdlalo ke uphelile ke sithi 1 ePlatinum FC not a Spear of the Nation. Awuyakhala indoda nali le goli elikhalisa amadoda elakhe Tsidiso Tukane obheke nje la namathele onyaweni walishala agcwala ubazi futhi ukuthi le bhola njengoba ngilishaye ligcwele kanje angeke alithola ugoalkeeper. Yabona igoli lokuwina igame leli igoli lokuwina umdlalo leli umdlalo obaleke ngalendlela awuwina ke ngestyle ke kanje njengoba ke elibeka ke phakathi Tsidiso laphana ke uTukane. Yabona ke umdlalo ke omunye ke olandelayo sizobe ke sesibheka ke ukuthi ke iMagesi izodlala kanjani ke neNorthwest University ukuze ke sithole ke elinye ke iqembu elizodlala ke kuyona ke ifinal. Abalandeli bePlatinum FC laba bona ke laba ke abahlokomayo ke bashaya ingoma lana ke enkundleni ngoba ke iqembu labo libajabulisile. Yabona ubonolo Siyekho omunye ke umdlali ke odlale kahle kakhulu namhlanje Bunolo Siyekho. Abadlali ke ebeSpear nabo bayazi ukuthi ke indlela yabo ke namhlanje ke iphela la ayidluli ke indlela yabo. Abafana ke ebaso ke iSpear of the Nation nomqeqeshi Sibusiso Mapompo naye futhi ke uzamile umdlalo wabo wokuqala lo abawushawayo kwisemifinal abashawanga emidlalweni ke yabo edlule. Yabona ukuthi isho ukuthini lo mdlalo ke kubadlali ke bayo ke iPlatinum FC 1-0 bayanqoba bayakhala bakhala inyembezi zenjabulo ngoba ke ibona abazodlala ke kuyona ke iGled Africa Championship. Ibona futhi kade bewuphethe umdlalo 58% ku42 amakhona mathathu kuPlatinum mahlanu ke kubona ke abeSpear of the Nation. Njengoba ubona ke ukuthi ke namacross abema 18 ke ngapha ke kuyona iSpear of the Nation 24 kubona ke labana ke abafana ke bePlatinum FC. Kodwa ke thina ke la phezulu ke siyazigoqa zonke intambo sithi ke full time score 1 Platinum not Spear of the Nation. Ukhona uvusiwe lapha ezansi ku touchline.
Thank you so much to our commentary team, to Lisile Mia as well as Ray Kuhn for holding it down and painting a beautiful picture of this encounter. We are now joined by the losing coach here today, Coach Sibusiso Mapompo. Coach, you came into this game, you had a game plan, but just not being able to execute ngendlela lebe nihlele ngayo. Uzizwa kanjani ngeperformance yeqembu namhlanje, and also the fact that when we look at the stats in that first half, 5 shots on goal and none of those were on target.
It's tough to take. It's tough to take. Looking at how we lost it, it was, I think it's 50 seconds to go. in the 92nd minute, 3 minutes added. It's tough to take. We had a plan. Yes, sometimes it wasn't coming through the final pass, but we gave it our best. The boys, I can't falter anything they've done throughout these playoffs. It's tough to take. It's so painful. I'm just not okay.
Coach, we can see the emotion in your face. I mean, losing the first game in the playoffs in what is the most crucial game for you in these playoffs.
Yeah. We haven't lost the whole season. This is the first game we are losing throughout the season. It's tough. It's tough to take. You can see from the players. I just don't understand from the right back. The right back fouled my player 5 times, no yellow card. But my player made one foul. He was on a card, yes. But it's okay. I'm not complaining about the referee. The referees, they're doing their job. Referees make mistakes, but fairness.
Hard luck, coach, here today.
Can I say something? I just want to say thank you to abantu basemampondweni. Siyaxolisa ngoba singakhange sibuye nodumo kodwa siyabulela isupport nenkxaso enisinike yona uxolweni man ninyamezele kubuhlungu nakuthi.
Thank you, Coach. That is, of course, Coach Sibusisa Mabombo of Yonage Iqembu lase Eastern Cape, Spear of the Nation. And lucky here today, and it also is the second game in a row that the team gets a red card, and this was a crucial one for them. But we bring in the man of the moment, Happy. He's made magic here today, similar to what we saw Swallows do midweek. Coach Hendricks, your thoughts on the team's performance here today, particularly given that the first half didn't go as planned for you?
Supposed to get my breath back first because the run was quite far up here.
The run was quite far, and so were the celebrations. They were quite extensive.
Just a bit of emotions coming up there. I apologize obviously from the referees as well for not acting appropriately as well. But you know the emotions are there, so things does happen. First off, obviously we had a tactic, we had a plan. Obviously to beat him in the first 10-15 minutes. I think the objective was there, in the sense of that obviously the opportunities were there, the shots were there, the chances were there. Obviously, I think maybe a bit of pressure, a bit of decision making, I think, in the final third. But I think at the end of the day, I can't really blame the boys. I can't fault them because yesterday had a tough game as well. Coming to this game, I think it was even tougher because of the moment. So all in all, I think it was a great effort.
Coach, we have unfortunately run out of time, but congratulations to you, and we will see you in Sunday's final.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support, everyone. Thank you so much.
That is, of course, Coach Ashraf Hendricks of course, the winning team here today, Platinum. They do get into Sunday's final where they will be playing for 1,250,000 Rand. That is what the winner takes out of Sunday's final. And, of course, the runner-up will be walking away with 600,000 Rand. This is the first of 2 semi-finals we are bringing you today. But for now, let's get some full-time analysis from Andy Lengube as well as his analysts in studio.
Well, thanks so much, Mangobo. I'm not sure about full-time analysis, but a cracker of a goal worthy of introducing this team to the NFD.
In the critical phase of the game, and that's how they win it, an experienced player in Tukane, he has played in the PSL before. He cuts in, is the man from the Val. What a shot. The Mushosho wa Manakanaka, the goal ya Manakanaka, the yone goal in Eko Gia, Platinum, Iko Isaka, Glade Africa.
I have 10 seconds for you, Klompo. Close it up for me.
Well-deserved promotion. I think Tukane, as I've mentioned in the beginning, that he's the experienced player who will come and influence this match, and he just did that.
Well, now we know who is in the finals and also going through to the NFD, but of course we are looking for the next one. We're talking about a marathon.
Marathon nickname yakhe Udona. Eval bathu marathon ubafakile.
There you go. We better get out of here. We'll see you in a bit when we come back, of course, to give you the second semi-final. Pela, si bamba lap.
Wat's die okasie is 'n splinternuwe skitterblink reeks op SABC2 wat partytjies hou vir ons land se nommer 1 persoonlikhede met die hulp van 'n span kundiges.
Lekker om 'n nuwe program te hê. Wat's die okasie?
Jy wil nie hierdie mis nie. Welkom.
Ja, tjej, soos Ollie B, straight van die Dal af, my see.